everyone, welcome back to my additional mathematics channel. So from today onwards, I will try to do revision for additional maths for Form 4 topic. So let's have a look for this question. It's actually about the quadratic function. So normally this type of question will come out in your paper 1. So let's read the question. The diagram above shows the graph of quadratic function. This is a function given, alright? And you're asking to find the values of A, P, and Q. Okay, so the function comes with a y equal to 3x minus p square plus q. Now, for your information, this is so-called vertex form. Okay, it is in vertex form, meaning that we can actually use a concept to read the vertex, which is a minimum point given here. So according to the concept, you want to read the vertex, you must let the perfect square 0. So you let 3x minus p square equal to 0 and you solve the x. Alright, so if we solve the x, we will get the x obviously will be you can see that x should be positive p, because when you bring over the 3 to be divided is still 0, right? Then x minus p square, you will actually squaring a number which is 0, so you get 0, isn't it? So normally we will say we just observe the bracket, so if this is minus, this is minus, okay, obviously the x must be opposite sign. Okay, so when x is p, the perfect square, the whole thing here will be 0, so that means x is equal to p, but the x was given in the turning point or minimum point. This point is known as vertex point, minimum point. Okay, so from the minimum point, actually we can read the x, which is 2. So the 2 is equal to p. That's how we solve the p. And then for the q is very simple. You can just obtain the p. Just highlight the p because you just highlight the q, because the q is actually the lowest value for the graph function. So q can just obtain from the lowest value of the graph, which is negative, right? Which is -7, meaning that that is the lowest value for the graph, right? Graph means function, minimum value. Okay, the q is equal to minimum value. And then we're asking to find the value of a. Okay, let's see where is the a. A is a point lies on the y-axis. So obviously here x will be 0, right? So you should be able to write the point like this. And then since you already got the equation, the curve, which is 3x minus, just now the p we get the value is 2. So we will use the p and q, and we will substitute this point into the function, or we say equation. Okay, when we substitute, it becomes equation. That means this is a. Okay, that's 3. When you see x will be 0, minus 2 square minus 7. So we will get the a is 3 times -2 square will be +4, and we will minus 7, right? So when we minus 7, we will get 12 minus 7. So that means a is equivalent to 5. So obviously this value is positive lah, right? So that means we managed to solve the p is 2, q is -7, and a is 5. Alright, so that is how we solve the quadratic function. Okay, So I hope that you can memorize the step to solve the quadratic function. So let's check the answer. Alright, so it seems like this is the right answer. A is 5, P is 2, and Q is negative 7. Right, so if we start to do revision from now, maybe one day you do 3 questions or 4 questions or 5 questions. We'll do one day you do a bit, okay? Accumulate the experience. Okay, so today we focus on quadratic function. Tomorrow we will focus on another topic. Keep on doing, alright? So this one is also a quadratic function, and the vertex is given PQ, right? So now from the equation, the function is given, right? This is a function. We can actually know that this is actually obviously is a vertex form. So we let the perfect square 0. So the x obviously will be 3, right? And the y obviously will be negative 5 over 2 because it's already in vertex form. So we can say that this value, it will be equivalent to the y value, right? So we're going to use comparison. You know the comparison, we just q is equal to this value, and the p is equal to 3 because here is a p. P is 3, q is negative 5 over 2. Alright, make sure you are very careful, especially when you read the x value. It's always opposite sign with the 1 in the bracket. So p is 3, q is negative 5 over 2, and then the equation of axis of symmetry. Okay, the equation of axis of symmetry is a line that will cut or divide the line, the curve into, it always passes through the turning point, and it will divide the curve into 2 equal balance sides. Alright, so it will passes through the point whereby just now we have x is 3, right? Q, it for sure will cut the x-intercept 3. So therefore this equation is x equal to 3. So when you are asking to write the equation, see or not? There's a word equation. You must write equation x equal to 3. This is so-called axis of symmetry. It must be in equation, right? So let's check the answer. Okay, so this is the answer. P is 3, Q is negative 5 over 2, and the x is equal to 3 is the axis of the symmetry. Alright, so we have solved 2 questions already for quadratic function. So okay, let's continue one more. So we try to set the target. One day we solve 3 questions, alright? Okay, for this question, given that quadratic function fx, okay, you're given a quadratic function like this. You have to express in this form. Okay, so you have to do the completing the square, right? Still remember how to do completing the square? What are the steps? Step 1. Okay, let's revise. Step 1, you must arrange in general form. Alright? Step 2 is what? Make sure a is 1. So that means we will factorize. Negative 2 is going to factorize. So many of you, you're very confused. When you factorize the negative 2, what must you do? That means the remainder. In order to get remainder, you must divide by negative 2. Every terms. So become positive 3x. Divided by negative 2, right? That's how you do. So that you won't make a mistake. So when you multiply, you should get back negative 2x squared. Right? I'm getting negative 2x squared. Right. So always double check when you multiply. Are you getting back the original equation? So let's check. I'm getting negative 2x squared, right? After I check. Okay, negative 2 times positive 3, negative 6x. Correct. Then negative 2 times negative 5. I'm getting positive 5. Yeah, right. Okay, that means we are safe. Okay, step 3 we check already, right? Completing the square. Step 2. Step 3 is the most easy one or the most challenging one? Easy, right? So you just copy the question, and this one you just write further a bit. Then after that, what you need to do, you need to plus with something square, and immediately you minus out, right? What you need to plus is actually half of this, 3 over 2, 3 over 2, right? Positive, right? This is positive. Okay, so positive we don't write. Alright, so why we need to do so? Because we need to complete the square for these three terms. Only with u plus with half of the b, then you can complete of the square. Remember that? Then here 9 over 4 minus 5 over 2, I can write as 10 over 4. Easy for me to simplify, right? So now I'm going to simplify until the simplest form is fx equal to negative 2, then x plus 3 over 2 square minus 19 over 4. Is this the simplest form? No, this is not the simplest form. We still need to simplify until two terms, one with a perfect square and the other one with a number which is actually 2. Negative and negative will be positive, right? 2 times 19 over 4 will be 19 over 2. Can you follow? Okay, I'm going to show you. This is we just times a 1 here and stop. Don't expand. Okay, there's a 1 here, and you times the negative 2 and negative 19 over 4, you get 19 over 2. Now then you can read the lowest point, the highest point. Y is a negative. The highest point, the maximum point, the end shape, right? So this is the point. Okay, it's negative 3 over 2 and 19 over 2. So what the question asking is you have to find the value of P and Q. Let's do comparison. So our answer is, it seems like the P is 3 over 2 and the Q is 19 over 4, right? Okay, so because I'm going to do comparison, negative 2 x plus p squared plus q. So I will write here is negative 2 x plus p squared plus q. So I'm going to do comparison. So that means this thing will be my p, and then this thing will be my, okay, this thing will be my q. So that means a p equal to 3 over 2 and the q equal to 19 over 2, right? So this is actually very important. You must know how to do. It's a completing the square, okay? So please do more now. From now onwards, do revision. Okay, so that's all for today. We have complete 3 questions for the revision for trial exam. Okay, then I shall share with you more in my next video.